So you're getting ready to play the semifinals of the Delhi Open, right?
That's right.
Challenger 75K?
Yes, 75. Challenger 75.
And how are you feeling so far?
I'm feeling pretty good, man. It's been, we've been in India for 3 weeks. I think I was playing like pretty good tennis when I got here. But I had a couple tough matches in the first 2 weeks. And, but I had a tough match first round here too. After I got through that, it was, I think I'm playing good tennis and like, I feel pretty good about it. So I'm looking forward to it.
You took out Tomic a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
How did that match go? Because I know he's a character.
He's a character, dude. He's always tough, man. I mean, he's a super talented guy. Obviously, he has. He's always dangerous. He has a good serve. He places it super well. His forehand cross and inside in is like really good. He has like a nuts like flat forehand cross inside in. And then his backhand's just solid, good hands, and really good anticipation. Mm-hmm. So that was. I mean, I was happy to get through that, especially at altitude too. Bangalore was like maybe like a couple thousand feet. So I was happy to get through it. It was a tough match.
I also saw that you played against the Spanish dude.
Yeah, Roca.
Yeah, so you lost to him 1 week and
Yeah.
then beat him the following week.
Yeah.
What changes did you make to make that happen?
I played in Bangalore again. Like altitude, like the conditions were different, pretty different the next week in Pune. The first match was tight, two breaks from him, and I don't think I had any break points. He maybe had 3 break points, so it was a tight match, and he just came through with it. But I wasn't like upset about the match. I mean, it wasn't like a super bad match, you know what I mean? And then going into the next week, he had played in the semis. He got there like pretty late. He didn't have as much prep time. I knew I had that over him, and then obviously like the tactic was incredibly clear because I had played him already. So it was easy to just kind of lock in on that and just go like heavy to his backhand and kind of like play super solid like that. Mm-hmm. And another tough match, but got it done. So
nice.
That was felt good.
I see you're putting the stencils on your rackets. Are you sponsored by Wilson?
Yes.
Assuming?
Yes, I am.
What do you get out of the sponsorship?
Basically rackets and string.
Free rackets and strings?
Yeah, pretty much.
What about the kit? I see it's a Fila.
And the kit is Fila. The kit is Fila, yes.
And they just give you free stuff?
Clothes. Yeah.
What does it take to get start getting paid from these brands to rep your stuff?
I mean, I don't know that much about it, to be honest. I mean, just from what I've heard from my agent, basically. And I mean, from what I understand is that top 100 is really where the money starts coming in. I mean, if you're like below that, these guys don't have that much interest, for the most part. I'm pretty lucky to have even the clothes and rackets, I think. So I'm happy with that.
I also saw online that you played for Stanford, right?
Yeah.
Pac-12 champion.
Pac-12 champion.
What's the biggest difference between college tennis and professional tennis?
I mean, obviously the team. It's so different having like people around you. Your priorities aren't number one. You have other people's. You're not playing for yourself. That's really it. And then obviously like being at school, there's other stuff going on in your life. Like tennis maybe isn't the like one and only priority for everyone, but I mean, especially for guys who maybe don't want to play after. You know what I mean? Which is fine. I think that's great. But those are the 2 biggest things.
What's something that you didn't expect from professional tennis? Being on tour.
Didn't expect. I mean, I think I honestly, I don't know if I like thought that I would be like playing like at this level maybe this quickly. I think like I've really only been playing for like a year. I started last February, basically after an injury, and I had some good results like pretty quick. I thought I was going to be spending some time in futures, and I think I'm in like a really good position. That was like a pleasant surprise, I think, and I'm really happy about that.
I'm not gonna lie. You're 22, right?
Yeah.
You are built. You're a huge 22-year-old.
Yeah.
I think that helps as well a little bit.
Yeah, no, it definitely helps. I mean, I also, training with the team I have in Argentina, like, it's a lot of focus on the physical side of it. Mm-hmm. I'm in the gym a lot of time. I mean, so, but I've also always been pretty big for sure. That definitely helps.
Do you have an Argentinian background?
No, nothing.
No,
I met a coach from there and just like being down there and training down there. So.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in LA, in Pasadena. Altadena, actually, to be exact.
South Cali has some of the best tennis on in the country, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think
it's probably the best, I think. Florida has more players, but it's all. They're not from there. You know what I mean? They all migrate. So I think it's SoCal is number one.
How did you get started playing tennis?
My parents introduced me. I played a bunch of sports when I was a kid, and I just liked tennis the most. I was the best at it, so stuck with it. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
What's your favorite tennis memory?
Favorite tennis memory?
Yeah.
I really like the team events. College was super fun. I really like playing. Like, I played Youth Olympics, that was awesome. I played Junior Davis Cup, that was really fun. I just played Pan Ams, that was really cool. Those, like, competing for the country, competing with a team, those have been really great. Like, those are probably some of my favorites. Obviously, the Grand Slams and juniors were awesome.
You played them?
Yeah, I played all four. I played Australia 3 times, and the rest of them I played once.
Mm-hmm. How'd you do in those?
Round of 16 in Wimbledon and French.
Hey.
And that was the best.
That was the best. The other ones.
Yeah, that was it. The other ones were not as good.
How would you compare top-level junior tennis to college tennis?
To college tennis, I mean
Yeah.
the same differences as to pro. You mean in terms of like how it is playing, it's the same differences as to pro. I mean, you're playing for yourself. You don't have a team. In terms of level, I think it's probably similar as for the top guys. I mean, there's some really good juniors right now. Like, I don't know, you just saw. I mean, Finesco is in the quarters of 500. Like, there's some very good juniors.
Didn't he announce he's
leaving.
giving up his college eligibility to go pro?
Yeah. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think he's super good. I mean, I was with him and I saw him at a couple of challengers. Like, he's nuts, dude. Really good.
When before you went to college, did you have it in the back of your mind that you wanted to continue pursuing it after college?
Yeah.
Yeah. You knew from the start?
Yeah, I was always thinking that for sure. I mean, I was like really strongly considering, because I had a couple offers for like the 6-month deal, you know, where you start in January and leave in June and then just go play. So I was really considering those. I chose Stanford just because of the school, but in terms of tennis, like that was what I was like really wanting to do, was just kind of get like secure the college scholarship and then head out. I had a couple conversations with college guys that kind of like convinced me otherwise, with like a couple coaches and one of my my mental coach. So that was another reason why I decided against doing that. But I always like wanted to play pro after school for sure.
Do you think college is a good stepping stone into professional tennis, or do you think it's a coin toss of, you know, how you can leverage it?
I mean, no, I don't think it's necessarily a good stepping stone. I think it matters a lot where you go and how you leverage it. Mm-hmm. A lot. I think it's definitely better now with the accelerator program. It's always had the US Open wild card, but I mean, you need to have a good program and you need to be like super self-motivated. Mm-hmm. Super self-motivated.
What'd you study in college?
I studied mechanical engineering.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
you're an engineer.
Engineering. Yep.
Yeah.
It was fun actually. I enjoyed it. I always like math and science. So, and I like I'm a big like F1 fan. I like planes and cars and shit like that. So I was always like wanted to do that. I pretty much was decided on that when I got there, for the most part.
Do you ever get nitty gritty into the specs of the rackets, how they're made or the materials, or you just?
I haven't. I've thought about it a little bit, not like into the nitty gritty really. I've never been like a super specific like you know doing my own like lead tape and stuff like that. Never. But like I've thought about like, I mean, it seems like to me like, I mean, in terms of obviously the material science has gotten a lot better with graphite, and I don't know if there's any carbon fiber in there, but whatever it is. But like in terms of like the shape of the racket, like it hasn't really changed. You know what I mean? There's no like anything like that crazy. Maybe like a Yonex, I guess. But
What rackets are you using?
what racket is this?
Yeah, let's do a shout out to Wilson right
Wilson. It's just an Ultra Pro. I was using like just the stock one before, and I'd weight it myself, and then they started giving me rackets from Pro Lab. So these are from Pro Lab, but it's just the stock Ultra Pro, I think.
What's the biggest difference between like the pro stock rackets and the consumer rackets to play that you feel?
I mean, I don't know, to be honest. I mean, obviously, like it's different for each player. I think that some players are just using stock rackets. Some players are using like older sticks. I've heard a lot of people use like K-blades, like you know rackets that they don't necessarily sell, but
K-blade goes hard.
Yeah,
it's one of the best rackets
like,
in my opinion.
Yeah, the one
ever
from like
made.
05 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but like, I mean, in terms of like materials and like technology, like I don't think there's any different than like rackets they're selling now. They're just like different feel. I mean, as far as I understand, and that's what I would guess.
I don't know if you know this, but every tennis racket company, the specs on it, especially or in the weight, it's always like plus minus 5 grams. Did you ever, do you ever feel that when you get new rackets that they feel a little bit different, and you have like a favorite racket or so?
I mean, I've been sending my rackets to someone to get weighted, and now they come from Pro Lab, but I mean, I've been having them like matched for a pretty long time. So now no, but I wasn't ever really old enough to like think about that before I started getting them spec'd. But if you didn't have them spec'd, you would for sure feel. I mean, it could be a 10 gram difference if it's plus or minus 5, obviously. So you'd for sure feel that. That's a lot, you know.
What tension do you string your rackets at?
These are 53.
53?
Yeah, usually I go 52, but it's a little looser. So.
How many rackets do you have?
I have 6 in here and 2 in the hotel.
And do you string them? Would you go to a match with like slightly different tensions depending on like the conditions of the day or the location?
No, I just
Keep it the same.
Yeah, I mean I test it out before the tournament, try it out, and then adjust it like before. I guess maybe if I had a day off and I knew it was going to be like super heavy or something like that, or cloudy, then maybe I would go drop a pound or something, but not a significant amount.
What strings do you play with? Looks like
This is Alu 125.
I feel like that's the player's choice across the tour.
It's very nice. It's very nice. Yeah, I was using 4G before. I think it's just a little less action, especially with this racket that's a little bit more dead and doesn't really give you as much. So yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
And
It's really good.
nice. So you're using rubber bands for
Rubber
this.
bands.
What inspired that?
I had an old coach when I was in juniors, and he was like, "Oh, you should try these out just for fun," and I just liked them, so I've been using them ever since. I like the color too.
Is there a particular brand of rubber band you like? Or
You get these off of. They use these to wrap like bundles of asparagus. and I've just been using them. They're like the same thickness and whatever, and so that's why I get them.
I've tried it.
You don't like it?
I actually really do.
You do?
The issue I have though, whenever I would do it, is getting like the same thickness of rubber bands.
Yeah.
Like you got to get like either buy like a pack of it or just because they also break. You know?
Yeah, they break a pretty good amount. Yeah, I just my parents like collect them whenever they have asparagus. They like keep the rubber bands. So whenever I go home, there's like a pile waiting for me. So I get them restocked, and and then these are all like similar. Like, I mean, some of them are like a little thicker, a little thinner, but more or less the same. So yeah, it's good.
And so you're probably gonna go on court pretty soon.
Pretty soon.
Let's do it.
Thanks, man.
Do it for the boys back at home.
Let's get it. Let's get it, dude.
All right, we are gearing up. Tristan Boyer is about to start playing right behind me. You can see him, that stud over there. This guy is built like a freaking bull, 22 years old. Interesting stadium. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit run down, but the crowd seems pretty small as well. From Tristan, this is actually one of the nicer challengers, so let's go watch and cheer on our boy. So, Tristan, you had a tough match today in the semis. You lost to a really good French player,
Blancaneux.
Blancaneux. You seem like you've been in pretty good spirits walking off, but how are you feeling after that?
I mean, things happen. It's a tough match. He played better, I think, especially with the wind. I had a couple of chances. I could have broken him first game. I probably would have changed a little bit. I played a little bit of a loose game second game, and then I was holding pretty easily the rest of the set. He was. I had some chances in a lot of service games, but he played well. He played well in big points. He served well. Didn't miss a lot of first serves. Maybe could have adjusted a little better on some of the serves.
If you can go back and play the match differently, what would you do?
I would have really locked in on that first game. He didn't really have any scoreboard pressure at any point. Maybe would have tried to find my second serve, backhand second serve return a little bit better, because I wasn't really hitting he was kicking it up to my backhand, and I wasn't really hitting it that well. I've been hitting it really well the whole tournament. Maybe locked in on the passes a little more. Didn't pass great.
So you spent the last 3 weeks in India or so?
Yeah, this was the third week.
So how would you describe your entire series
tour
over here? Yeah.
It was good. It was honestly pretty nice. I mean, Challengers are always pretty good. The first two are 100, so they're nice tournaments, big tournaments. Very different place than like US or Europe. Really different food, but it was good. I enjoyed like experiencing it and kind of like like seeing a place that's so different than these places. So I enjoyed it.
In general, do you ever feel like the cuisine of the country plays any effect on your kind of your state?
Not
have your diet is obviously important.
I don't know if it plays I mean, I think you try to keep it as similar as possible. Like, you don't want to be trying anything out. You know what I mean? Especially before a match. I mean, I'm more towards the desire of like trying new stuff, but I mean, during match day you keep it the same. So no, not really. I mean, you try to eat the same stuff. There's rice and like chicken everywhere. You know.
What's your favorite Indian dish?
I've been eating a lot of lentils.
A lot of what?
A lot of dal, which is like lentils. That's been super good. I mean, butter chicken's unbelievable. They have a type of bread called shirmal, which is really, really good. I had tried that a couple times. Yeah, I've been really enjoying it, to be honest. It's all really, really good.
And so what's the next stop for you now?
I'm going back home for a couple weeks of training, 2 weeks of training, and then I'm going to play some challengers in Mexico on clay. See if I get into Houston, and then play the 3 in Florida and Georgia. Yeah.
What's your favorite surface? Do you like hard or clay? You seem like a hard court player.
I think I'm pretty even on both.
Yeah?
Yeah, I have some good results on clay. I think I have more of my points on clay. But, I grew up on hard court, so I'd say I'm even.
What are your goals for the rest of the year? So
goals for the rest of the year? I mean, obviously my goal always is to do the best I can, train as hard as I can, and be the best. I mean, by the end of the year, I want to be consistently playing slam qualies for sure. Maybe looking at playing some main draws by Australia next year. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, this year's very different from last year, where I didn't have anything to defend. So it's a little different mentality, and we'll see what happens. But doing a little better than last year would be great. Being consistently top 200 and kind of trying to get as close as I can to top 100. But yeah, doing the best I can. I think if I keep training the way I am, and I have a really good team, and working hard, then good things can happen.
What's your favorite part about being a touring pro?
I mean, winning, dude.
Winning?
Winning, dude. Feels great. It's the best thing ever.
What's your least favorite part?
Losing.
So
There's no other answer to those questions.
I mean, you seem like, as I said, you seem like you're in pretty good spirits after the tough match today. If you don't mind, I'm nobody kind of to you, but do you mind if I give you like my analysis of the match?
Let's hear it.
So I think the wind was definitely playing a bit of a factor throughout the match.
Yeah.
The chairs were falling over, creating delays and stuff like that. But I think what your opponent did really well is the variety that he was playing with today.
Yeah.
He was like chipping a lot of returns, or even in the middle of the point just throwing, forehand slice or backhand slice, high balls, low balls, drop shots, where I felt from your side it was a little bit, I would say lack of variety.
Yeah.
Some of the shots you were going for, I feel like you were maybe expecting or used to having them to be a little bit more effective.
Yeah.
Whereas you were taking, when you take a crack at the ball, you're taking a risk of potentially missing.
Yeah.
Given the conditions and also how he was playing pretty good defense today. You weren't getting. I don't think you were getting the response that you're normally used to, that you're able to be more aggressive off of it, and so you were playing with the risk without the reward.
Yeah.
And I don't think you should play into his game of the higher. He was hitting pretty heavy, and he's a French player. That's kind of like the style that they go with. But moving around a lot and taking the risks when you have more of an opportunity, rather than without the development of the point behind it.
Yeah.
That's how I felt.
Totally. Yeah.
I think if you threw in some more slices, would have been good, and especially with the wind, the slices would have been more effective. Yeah. Because it kind of tough to read the ball.
Yeah, he definitely dealt with the wind better for sure. He's really good feel. So you're right about the variety. And I mean, he played really well at net. He played a good match. Played a solid match.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So good luck going into the rest of the season.
Thank you, man.
Hopefully, if you play U.S. Open, you played the U.S. Open qualies last year.
Yeah, I
Right?
had quality last year.
You lost to Dion.
Yep.
I think I interviewed him after that.
Oh, yeah. Tough one.
But
That was a tough match, yeah.
if you, hopefully we can, we'll meet again.
For sure, man.
If you make it to the U.S. Open in New York, and safe travels and kick some ass, break some serves, and
do it, dude.
break some hearts.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.